All right. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Newport This Week video podcast. I'm Bill Bartholomew, and we are going to talk about the Maher Center today. And the story is, it's one that is hyper specific to the moment, but there's a lot of history with the Maher Center. The story in last week's edition of the paper by James Marola, Maher Center expanding its roots at the facility named after James Maher. There's once more a center within a center. The reopened center on Aquidneck Island, and pardon me, on Aquidneck Avenue in Middletown is back to promoting where plants and people grow. So good morning again, and thanks so much for your time. I guess tell everybody who you are and what your role is in all of this.
Hi, my name's Troy. I manage the garden center for the Maher Center. We are a regular garden center with everything you'd find everywhere else: perennials, annuals, houseplants, hostess gifts, things like that. But we're also lucky enough to be running a vocational training program out of the garden center to get job skills to the clients of Maher and other agencies on the island.
All right. Well, thanks again so much for your time. So give us a little bit of a history lesson here in terms of when the center was established and sort of the evolution over the years.
I mean, that could take a while, but the garden center itself opened in the 1970s, and over the decades employed a lot of disabled people. It was a wonderful, thriving garden center for a long time. Models have changed over the years, and there's a shift away from workplace kind of environments for employing people of that population. So now it's all about interacting with the community and engaging with the community and, being right there with everybody. And so we are able to kind of rebirth the mission through the garden center again here and help a lot of other people at the same time. The training program also eventually will be open to different underserved populations and also anyone at some point to get people job skills in the green industry.
It's interesting, noted in the paper, the purpose now is training as well as therapy. So this is sort of a bilateral approach that you're taking here. Talk about that and sort of the practical implications of a workforce training or experiential training scenario that then kind of super serves a population that is also in need of very real therapeutic efforts from community organizations.
Yeah, well, we're lucky that we can offer a true, real experience of what it would be like to be in a workplace like this through the garden center. And then we have all the resources of the Maher Center. They're, specialists in so many different departments to back that up and make it meaningful and work for everybody that wants to get involved.
How does someone get involved from our community that says, hey, geez, I recognize the mission, I recognize the work that's happening, and I want to make some kind of contribution. I'm not specifically saying financial, but how does someone get involved?
Yeah, well, we have a ton of volunteers that do all sorts of different things for Maher. The garden center, but also many other things that they do. So just come on in and come have a conversation with us. There's pretty much a place for anyone that wants to help with anything, and or call, email, our website.
What's your own background in terms of how did you get involved in this work?
Landscaping, fine gardening, retail, and like business management. So yeah, I'm the community part that we're going to show everyone. Hi, how are you? Oh, and this is Tristan, who can fill you in a little more on the non-green side of this.
Tristan. Hi, Tristan. But what timing did you just like emerge from one of the plants that are behind us in this?
Our programs are blooming. What can I tell you?
Well said. What's your name and what's your deal with all this?
So my name is Tristan Pennell, and I'm the Director of Career Services here at the Maher Center. So I run the team that assists individuals with the training aspect as well as the career paths after. So we partner with Troy on the green side, and we have a kitchen program, a commercial kitchen program that we train, and then our job is to help with the externships and the job placement after.
Hmm. Externships, as in you place folks in scenarios where they get in the field experience outside of the center.
Absolutely. So the internship is, to help them refine some of their skills. And then we do an externship with some local businesses in the area. So that way these individuals can have the opportunity to actually be in the real work environment, utilizing their skills to really at that point get the final polishing touches on anything they need, add to their resumes, build contacts before we look for the community-based job.
I read from the story in Newport this week, and Troy, you're quoted as saying the goal is for anyone to get jobs here. It's mandated by the state to try to secure employment for disabled clients. Since January, our focus has been to begin a training program for the intellectually disabled, but it will eventually be open to anyone. It will have training for the general public as well. It can reach a number of different populations. Let's talk about that expansion concept. When you say anyone, does that literally mean anyone in the community that's looking for a job training, or how does that frame?
Yeah, there's a lack of skilled people in the green industry right now. And in the restaurant industry and in retail, in many industries. So yeah, we can definitely expand to help a lot of different populations.
Yeah, so as we unroll this, we just put in for a Real Jobs grant. So as we begin to unroll this next phase, we are looking at opening up not only for the intellectual developmental world, but as well as looking at our mental health, our formerly incarcerated. In terms of those training programs, we are looking to offer as well in the near future training programs for, kids or individuals off the street, and just, let's do a flower making class. Not a flower making, an arrangement class. We don't make the flowers, we grow them. So, and let's look at giving individuals the culinary skills that they need to really be able to go out and get those jobs. So ideally, our goal and our vision is to open it up to the general public to be able to help increase the skills in the workforce.
It's such a critical element of society right now, right? I mean, COVID shifted everything up in terms of just the workforce as a whole. And we find people who are anxious to either expand their own horizons or kind of quadruple down on a skill set or interest that they already have. On Aquidneck Island right now, in the Aquidneck Island community, there's definitely a unique challenge of workforce housing, and it's a difficult recipe to try to make it work perfectly for everybody. So these jobs that you're training folks for, are they the type of jobs that are careers, or is this sort of just hey, I just need to get back on my feet, or is it everything in between and kind of all encompassing?
Yeah, everything.
It's everything that they want it to be. Honestly, we're looking at beginning with the entry level, but if we have enough skilled individuals who want a higher level, that is something that we can absolutely provide. But at the same time, it's all in what you make of it as an individual. You come into it and we're giving you the entry level skills, but if you're a hard worker and you want to learn and you want to grow, there's the opportunity. And a lot of the businesses that we have partnered with are really good for that. They're open for advancement. And your first job back into the workforce, or an additional job, is not always your forever job. They're meant to be stepping stones. And this is one of those stepping stones in moving forward in whether you want it to just be a job or whether you want to make a career.
Really great stuff. And as education shifts, higher ed and the concept around that, there are folks who are saying, hey, wait a minute, I've got a PhD and I'm not able to find the right job for myself right now. Workforce training is as critical to the recipe as any higher ed piece. And especially in an environment like Aquidneck Island right now, where you have this varied population, you have the shifting sands of housing and a lot of uncertainty about where's the city of Newport going, where people going to live, what are people going to do? Is this going to just become sort of a Nantucket-esque environment? You guys are doing amazing work because it really helps to provide that pivot towards stabilization in a practical way. I hope you realize that.
Sustainability. We want our participants here at the Maher Center, anybody who comes here, to be able to sustain themselves. I mean, that is the goal. I mean, we have a tourism, we have the green industry. We need to sustain, you know, for our local economy, but as well as we want our participants in these programs to be able to make this a career to sustain their lifestyle. You know, and that becomes a real big focus on how we move forward.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Well, thanks so much for all you do, and we appreciate having you on this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.